Joining us today is James Hilovsky, the visionary behind Frandream, a platform dedicated to helping aspiring entrepreneurs navigate the world of franchising and turn their business dreams into reality. With a wealth of experience in business growth, franchising strategies, and entrepreneurial development, James has been instrumental in guiding individuals towards successful franchise ownership. In this episode, we'll dive into his entrepreneurial journey, explore the opportunities and challenges in franchising, and uncover key insights on building a sustainable and profitable business. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or looking to expand your business through franchising, this conversation is packed with valuable takeaways. So sit back, relax, and let's get inspired by the journey of James Hilovsky. Welcome to my show, James.
Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
All right. So let's start off by you telling us a bit about yourself and what led you to start Frandream.
A little bit about myself. I'll just kind of tell you about myself and kind of the journey that led up to starting the Frandream, if that works. So I started working in corporate America in the restaurant industry. Put about 20 years into a corporate job. Runs out regional director and operator. All climbed the corporate ladder. And then I got a call from a company that said, "Hey, we're going to start this company where it's a restaurant. We're going to go from one store and we're going to franchise our department out, and we want you to head the franchises. Help our franchisees and help us with franchise development." So I started when we had one store, and then we built that up over to 100 within about 5 years. So we went from one to 100. I supported franchisees openings. I supported with them anything they needed, basically the director of franchise operations. Then what happened was the largest franchisee of that company said, "Hey, come work for us." So we had 10 of the restaurants we had. We did another franchise, ice cream franchise. We started our own coffee shop, and then we did our own cookie dough concept. And went there, and they were two NFL football players that I partnered with. And then at that time, uh, towards the end of when we sold off, one of the brothers, he got hurt, couldn't fulfill the end of his contract, and the other brother retired. So then that's when they decided, "Hey, we want to sell out. Let's just we're going to go do. They're going to go into the tequila business." I said, I'm just not that passionate about that. I don't want to go into that. So that's what led me to start the Frandream, and why I picked helping people find the right franchise fit was I saw the people that work and were friends with the brothers while they were big NFL football stars, and just saw all the different business opportunities that didn't really make a lot of sense and just basically looked like bad investments, to where thank goodness they saw that and said no. But I always said, there really needs to be, really would help to have someone that has the knowledge of a franchise system and franchise business in the business world that can help show people what are the options out there in the franchise world.
All right. So you've been engaged in franchising, but what really inspired you to focus on franchising? What gap did you see in the market?
Yeah, so what really just did it was really helping people. And one thing I did see that I really didn't realize in franchising, because I had always done the restaurants, but you know most people really just think that restaurants are the only franchise system. They think of McDonald's and the big ones, that's all the franchise. And you know what? Really, franchising's in plumbing, electrician, wherever you go down the street or you see a business, that's probably a franchise system. It is in every different industry, and there's something for everyone to find the right fit.
All right. So tell us, James, how did your previous experience shape your approach to entrepreneurship?
Yeah, so it was really great of my experience, because I had experience on both sides. One of being supporting franchisees, so being on the franchisor side of giving that support to a franchisee, And then when I moved over with the brothers, it was being a franchisee and receiving that support. So being on both ends, and I think it really helps of, hey, for doing this, it really helped to see this is what you look for in a franchisor that's giving you great support. As a franchisee, this is what you're going to need, and here's the struggle. So I think I'm really unique that I've been on both sides of the fence in this regard.
All right, now let's spend some time talking about your company, Frandream. So tell us a bit more about Frandream and how does it help entrepreneurs in the franchising space?
Yeah, so what the Frandream does, we take people that are looking to own a franchise business. We show them the options that are out there. There's over 5,000 franchises or more out there. So we've kind of narrowed it down to we really like these 500 or franchises that we do. We will take someone's skill set, what they're looking for, if they want an owner operator model, if they want a passive model, and then what they did, what their skill set is, and what industry they like. So then we'll take that and we'll show them the options that we think would be really great fit for that prospective franchisee.
Okay, so we've been talking about a particular word, franchise, franchisee, franchising. We've been using this word, but let's go a bit down and understand what it really means. So when we talk about a franchise, what does that really mean? What is a franchise?
Yeah, so a franchise is so the franchisor, that is the creator of the franchise. So the franchisor, they're the ones that's going to help the franchisee with support. So
Okay.
you go to the franchisor, you buy into their system, and what you're paying for is their expertise because they've already
Hmm.
done probably 10 on their own and then they franchised it and there's 10 more franchisees or 100, depends on how fast the systems grow. So the franchisor is what you're really looking for when you're a franchisee, of what kind of knowledge do they have, what kind of support am I going to get, and what does the system look like with the franchisees and in it. And as the franchisee, that's the person looking for a business that they can own and get out into entrepreneurship, either out of corporate America or the corporate world, and into into business and becoming that entrepreneur and betting on themselves.
All right. So my guest once again is James Hilovsky. And James is sharing his entrepreneurial journey and sharing his insights and thoughts in the franchising world. Um, Now, James, tell me, what are some of the biggest challenges entrepreneurs generally face when they are entering the franchising world?
So I really think the biggest challenge is finding the right fit of what is going to be a good fit for a franchisee. So finding that particular franchisor in that right industry that you like. But the biggest challenge, and this is what I tell everyone, getting into a franchise system. Yes, the franchisor has the knowledge and they can help you, but you're going to be the one responsible for taking that system and implementing it. So the biggest thing that I say is when you're talking with franchisors, do your homework, and that's kind of what we help during the process. We help you during this process, but it is what kind of support am I going to get from the franchisor? Uh, are they going to give me great opening support? And then what is the ongoing support? Am I going to get visits to my locations or territories? What's my marketing support going to look like? What does my day to day look like? If I have a problem and I call someone on the phone or email, am I going to get a really quick response? Because most of the time, when you're reaching out, you don't really have 24 hours. It's like, hey, I need help with this right now. So that is really how you drill down of what franchisor is going to give great support when you're a franchisee. So that's a very key thing.
All right. So you've been at this for quite some time. Can you walk us through how your company supports individuals looking to start a franchise?
So, like my company, when we started, it was when I first started doing this, it was back to when I worked with the brothers, it was like, hey, let's help people and let's get into that. So if somebody comes to me and goes, James, I have no idea what I want in a franchise. This one sounds really good. And then we go, okay, well, that investment level is X amount of dollars. And they go, ooh, I was thinking more along the lines of 100,000, not $1 million. So then we kind of drill down of what's in the price range and budget. Are you looking for owner operator model, passive model? Owner operator means being in the day to day. Passive model means you could hire a manager to do the day to day, and you can manage the manager and maybe work 20 hours into the business, so it's that type. And then it's here's the industries that we're looking at, and then what do we do is show maybe 5 to 10 different options, and then that prospective franchisee would go, James, I'm really interested in these 3 franchises. And then what I would do then is introduce them to the franchisor, and the franchisor is going to tell them a deep, in depth of what they do, how they're going to support them, and then they're going to give them an FDD to review of here's the fees, what's going to cost, and here's how we're going to support you. That's all in writing that you have to sign. So we help them how to read a FDD, and then we just kind of advise them while they're talking with the franchisor. And what I say really is when you're in that discovery process, it's very important to talk to existing franchisees in the system, because they know how, they would know, would you do it again? How quick am I going to see a profit? And what kind of support do I do? So that's how you're going to get the feel of what does the organization look like. And then it's all the way you verify that with franchisees, and then it's up to discovery day of, hey, yes, I want to do this. Let me meet everybody that's in the team, and then it's up to signing day if it's something you want to go forward with. So that's just kind of a walkthrough of what the Frandream does and what our goal is, just to educate. We don't really sell anything. We just educate the prospective franchisee and help him or her make a great decision.
Okay, so building on that question, so what are indeed the key factors that make a franchise successful?
So really, the key factors are, are you going to get great support? That's number one, because you're still going to have to drive the business of a franchisee. So is that franchisor going to give you really strong support? And also, one that's kind of overlooked is, what is my relationship when I'm talking with the franchisor, learning more about this? Do I feel like they're going to be a really good business partner? Because that's really what they are, a business partner. So did we really get along? Did we click? Do we align personality wise? And when I was talking with prospective franchisees or the franchisees in the system, do I align with them that this might be that, because they're going to be my teammates? So is this something that I think really could be a great fit? But I really think the biggest factor is, what kind of support am I going to get? And do I really mix and vibe with the personality traits of the people that are representing the franchisor and running it?
Okay, so in your experience, what have you identified as some of the common misconceptions people have about franchising?
Yeah, that's a great question, because one, when we really, the misconception is, hey, it's just restaurants, and that can be further from the truth. The franchise systems in all different industries that are out there. Another one is, hey, I'm going to join a franchise and I'm just going to put $10,000 in and I'm just investing in it. A franchise isn't an investment opportunity. It's owning a business and running that particular business. You're going to own the business. You're going to own all the equipment in the business. You're going to be responsible for running that business. It's not like, hey, I just pay the franchisor this money and they run it. No, you're building your business. You're trying to you're following the system, but it's all about you and your business and to make it go. And the franchisor is there for the support. So those are some of the kind of common misconceptions.
So, what advice would you give someone who is considering buying a franchise for the first time?
I would say this, because I think really the biggest problem when I'm talking with prospective franchisees to go into a business, I think the biggest problem is just that fear, and the fear of going out and leaving your job to go in and just have your own business. And I would just say that is the biggest thing to overcome it. And bet on yourself. You're probably making the company you're working for right now a lot of money. And you're making that company money, and that company is telling you when you have to be in the office, how if you could take vacation, and you don't really have control of your life. They kind of control you. You bet on yourself, you have your business, then you now have the freedom of deciding and when you won't work, or what events you're going to be able to attend. So really, it's bet on yourself. Get not only that financial freedom, but get that personal freedom and the control of your life back.
Um, do you think there are specific skills or qualities that are essential for a successful franchisee?
I do. I think really the biggest thing is, you know, because franchising, being a franchisee in a franchise system isn't for everyone. So if you don't really have, if you don't really like to follow rules, or are able to take a playbook and put the plays in place of the business, then franchising might not be for you. If you're gonna go, well, if I sell it this way, I think that could be better. Now, there's in a franchise system, you can voice your opinion, and maybe that's something the franchisor will consider. But if it's every little thing, if you're trying to take the main thing that's the franchise and turn it this way or that way, the franchising is not going to be for you. It's a system that they're going to give you a great playbook. You follow it, your odds are you're going to be very successful. So really, it's you've got to be able to listen and follow the instructions that the franchisor gives you.
Okay, no, now let's spend some time talking about your entrepreneurial journey and how you've come so far in business. Were there some bigger obstacles that you faced when you were starting Frandream, and how did you overcome these obstacles?
Yeah. So when I started the Frandream, the biggest obstacle was, I hadn't. I mean, I've been in the industry, so I knew all about the industry, but it was about putting how am I going to structure the business in place, and how was I gonna do that, and so I think that probably was the biggest one. But really, that being able to fall back on the experience that I had of just being in the restaurant business, and you know just kind of planning the business, make a plan and work your plan. So that was really kind of one of the things that really kind of helped me out in the obstacle. And then obviously, again, we kind of, you bring up that word of, fear again, and betting on yourself. Anytime you're trying something new, there's going to be fear of maybe I'm not going to get this right or that right, but it's taking that step, taking that leap of faith, and then just when you make mistakes, analyze why did I make that mistake, and what can I do better, and learn from it. So yeah, those were different obstacles that we did overcome, and just made systems better and helped out.
All right. So you've been on this journey for quite some time. And what are some of the lessons you've picked up on this journey?
One of the lessons I did pick up is you're going to meet all aspects of people along your journey, and really just talk with them, get advice, because I don't feel there's any bad advice. You could take the advice and apply it, or take the advice and go, okay, well, that was interesting to learn about, but it's probably not for me to do in that situation. So it really is just talking and learning more from people that can give you maybe a nugget that you didn't have, that you can apply into your business, and take those obstacles, and just make your business successful. And again, that whole thing of fear is it really is a four-letter word that can hold you back, and just believe in yourself that what you have, you can persevere, and that you can push forward.
So, how has your mindset evolved from when you first started as an entrepreneur till now?
So really, it's just that confidence that, hey, you did this before, and just falling back on that experience of, you've been there before, you can do this. Every all the time there's highs and lows in any business. It's just, when you get into that low rut, you just know, hey, don't give up, keep going. Hey, you know you're doing the right thing. It's going to help. Now, if you're in a franchise system, you have the franchisor to go, hey, this is where I'm at. I'm struggling. I really need some attention and one-to-one help, and they'll give that to you. So really, I just when you're on the bottom, just know that you're not always going to be on the bottom. That if you continue to work hard, follow the systems, and follow the systems even in your business, if it's not a franchise business, just follow the systems, and just work yourself out of the low parts, because it and the thing is, never give up. Just keep striving to get better, because even if you do something better the one day, then the next day you can build on that, and that'll just help climb your business out of where you need to, and get to where you need to get to.
Okay, so James, tell me, what's the best piece of entrepreneurial advice you've ever received?
Well, that's really, the we keep coming back to this. It's bet on yourself. Don't be fear. Do it. I think most people, when you talk to entrepreneur that's come from the corporate side or in a job, I think they all would say, "Gosh, I wish I would have done this earlier." I don't see anybody who says, "Man, I wish I never would have started my own business." As even if you start your own business and fail, and you start another one, that's just the start of your journey. And maybe you were meant to fail at that business, because the next business you try will grow, and you learn from those mistakes. So it really is just keep that going, and just overcome that fear obstacle, and just strive to get better every day.
All right. So we're just about wrapping up. But looking back on your journey, what do you think has been the most rewarding part of your entrepreneurial journey?
I think really the entrepreneur journey is, for me personally, getting into the Frandream, and helping put people into businesses to where they might have thought it was ever possible to do. Now, I have people that I placed in there, and their whole goal is, I want to create generational wealth for my family. When if they were working a job, that might not have been possible to where they have the business. So it is that journey of possibly generational wealth, or just the fact of, hey, I have time now where I could go watch my kids' sports, I could go watch them, in school. So not only the business and wealth aspect of it, but the aspect of having that time. And I think any entrepreneur would tell you, if I was making X at a job, and I'm making X at my business, and it's the same, I'm much happier now running my business, because at least I have track of my time, and I'm doing it for me. And I know there's no ceiling at how I can take my business, where there's a ceiling when you're not in the entrepreneur world.
All right. So if you could give advice to your younger self when you were just starting, what would that advice be?
Become an entrepreneur sooner. You should have done that sooner, and left the business world. That definitely would be it. And also, when you're younger, you tend to think you have all the answers, that your way is the best way, and just know that take the advice of seasoned entrepreneurs, senior business men and women, that just take that advice, and just soak it all in, and just try to get better, and just know that you can work on yourself and grow even in your earlier days, of if you would take that advice.
All right. So before we sign off, what's next for you as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so it's just basically helping to grow the Frandream, and really every candidate that I have, when they sign for a franchise business, that is that's what's next, of helping another person that has been able to get out of the business world, corporate world, and get at a business on their own, and then just to watch their journey of them opening up their franchise business, to making it grow, and going, James, I might want another territory in this franchise, or help me find another franchise, because this one's going so well. I want to do another different industry. So all that is very rewarding, and that keeps my motivation for going, because that helps grow my business and it just helps grow my network. So that is so much thanks.
All right. So before we sign off, what will be your final thoughts or words of encouragement for aspiring entrepreneurs listening to us today?
Yeah, I would really say, again, bet on yourself. And I would say don't let fear control you. But I also would say when the chips are down and it's looking bleak, that you chose this path for a reason, and that just keep striving, keep working hard, and get the advice of other. If it's not a franchise business, get the advice of other business men and women of, hey, what that's maybe in a like business or like industry. What did you do when this happened? And just get all the business advice that you can, and you will just never give up on yourself and keep going.
Never give up on yourself and keep going. And these are the final words from my guest, James Hilovsky, on this episode of the Entrepreneur Speaks podcast. James, thank you so much for sharing your rich experience with us today on the Entrepreneur Speaks podcast. We wish you the very best.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you having me.
All right, so this has been another exciting episode of the Entrepreneur Speaks podcast. I'll come your way next time with another inspiring and exciting episode. I remain your host, Kofi Anyemedu. As always, do take good care of yourself and let's continue to keep hope alive. Cheers.